Hello, it's me, JJ from the Timeout Corner Podcast. I would like to say that the episode you're about to listen to covers some heavier themes than what we normally talk about. These themes will include suicide, pedophilia, among many other topics that might not be fit or might trigger people, however that works. So viewer discretion is advised for this episode. Thank you.
Now recording.
Hello, and welcome back to the Timeout Corner Podcast. My name is JJ, and I'll be hosted alongside my well-lit co-host, Bread.
Angelic. I don't have the halo this week.
Yeah, so let's hope it doesn't increasingly get brighter as it has been known to do in the past. Because that
I'll try. Do my best.
A little trippy. How have you been, Bread?
We're good.
Good.
Working, mainly.
Just on that grind, getting the money.
Oh, yeah. What about you?
Same deal, honestly. You know, staying out of the weather. It's been pretty hot lately, but also it rained last week for some reason. But it was like still hot.
I don't know.
So it
was hot rain.
This was a very humid environment. I was not a fan. It was not my cup of tea. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? Starting off with the first article I have here. Violent dementia patients leave nursing home staff and residents scared to death.
Okay. Are these organized dementia patients?
That's a good question. It's like a mob.
Just a gang of dementia within old people.
They pull up on you, don't even remember why they're there. Okay, so
get out. Have like a walker slowly coming towards you.
Mid swing, about to hate you with it, forgets why they're hating you, just walks away. This guy named Dan had been a bank president who built floats for the 4th of July parades in Wyoming, and he was also who adored fly fishing with his son. A guy named I don't know why it's introducing these people like a novel. A guy named Jeff had been an auto mechanic who ran a dog rescue and hosted a Sunday blues radio show in Santa Fe. By the time their lives intersected at Canyon Creek Memorial Care Community in Montana, both were deep in the grips of dementia. Man, whoever wrote this wanted to be an author. My God.
Medic.
He's like giving the character's backstory.
Yeah.
Both were deep in the grips of dementia and exhibiting some of the disease's terrible traits. Dan had been wandering lost in his neighborhood, having outbursts at home and leaving the gas stove on. Jeff previously had been hospitalized for being confused, suicidal, and agitated. Medical records filed in U.S. District Court in Billings show when Jeff entered Canyon Creek, managers warned employees in a note later filed in court that he could be, quote, verbally and physically abusive while frustrated. On Dan's 4th day at Canyon Creek, carrying a knife and fork, he walked over to a dining room table where Jeff was sitting. Jeff told Dan to keep the knife away from his coffee, according to witness statement. And then Dan, who was 5'2", 125 pounds, was half Jeff's weight and 10 inches shorter, turned to walk away, but Jeff stood up and shoved Dan so hard that he hit the floor, fracturing his skull. And his brain hemorrhaged.
Oh.
The family filed a lawsuit against this man. But he died 5 days later. Dan did. Dang.
This is different than how I
Yeah,
thought it
me
would be.
too. I was not expecting this at all.
They made it sound like it was some
Yeah, like
they're going out and terrorizing the community. No, he killed somebody.
this dude walked over, stood next to the table. The guy was like, "Get your knife away from my coffee." He's like, "Oh, okay." Turned to walk away, got pushed in the back and broke his skull, literally. The police did not
That
charge him.
well, yeah, he's old and
He was 66.
has dementia. He has dementia.
Dan was 73. The guy who died. He stayed at Canyon Creek for nearly 3 more years, during which he repeatedly clashed with residents, sometimes hitting male residents and groping female ones, according to facility records filed in the court case. His anger would flare quickly. Quote, "I'm literally scared to death of Jeff," end quote. One nurse wrote in a filed statement describing Jeff's dispute with another resident. So, man, Jeff was a menace. Good gracious.
Yeah.
In
The
court,
article title was so misleading.
it was so misleading. This is so much darker than I was expecting. In court, Canyon Creek denied liability for Dan's death. Its privately held corporate owner, some communities, declined to answer questions from the news. So, wow. It says that he, in an email, wrote to the news that he prioritizes the health, well-being, safety, and security of our residents. So he declined to make a statement, and he said that he does not take liability for Dan's death. Even though I would say he should, because it was kind of under the nurse's watch.
I would think it would be more take punitive action against the guy who pushed him. I wouldn't let him stay at the house anymore.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. And then the police also didn't file anything. It was up to the family.
He stayed for 3 more years after that, is what he was saying?
Yeah. The family sued, the family of Dan actually sued Jeff. So that's good. But, a little bit weird.
Yeah. I don't understand why they kept him around.
Violent altercations between residents and long-term care facilities are alarmingly common. Across the country, residents in nursing homes or assisted living centers have been killed by other residents who weaponized a bed rail, shoved pillow stuffings into a person's mouth, or removed an oxygen mask. These kind of sound like hits.
Old people are crazy.
This sounds like they're sending hitmen in.
No.
To take care of these old people.
No.
Dude, removing the oxygen mask, shoving pillow stuffings in their mouth. Could you imagine?
That's kind of freaky.
It's a little freaky.
Getting old.
Yeah. It's like maybe they've always wanted to do that. Now they're old. They're like, I don't even care.
I think
Or
they
it's the
just
dementia.
are super confused.
That just seems so thought through. You don't just accidentally shove pillow stuffings into someone's mouth until they suffocate.
No, it's intentional for sure.
Yes.
It's not like they're accidentally doing it, but I just don't think they're aware enough to consider consequences. And
I would say Jeff's situation, I don't think he was trying to kill.
No.
Because that's just a push. But, yeah. Who would have thought, man? More than 900,000 people with Alzheimer's or other types of dementia reside in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. Many of the most seriously impaired live in roughly 5,000. Many of the most seriously impaired live in the roughly 5,000 facilities with locked dementia floors or wings, or the 3,300 homes devoted exclusively to memory care. So they lock them up primarily.
Yeah. No, I mean, imagine if you don't remember why you're there, nobody comes to visit you, and you get told what to do every day in and out.
That's true.
It's basically prison.
Basically. Not to mention they're already confused.
Exactly. And they're angry because they don't understand why this is happening. They don't remember.
Yes, so they resort to violence.
Yeah.
They want bloodshed.
I don't know. It's freaky.
It is
Dementia
freaky.
and Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it's a interesting thing. The mind sicknesses are a fascinating thing.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, yeah. Because like what?
Fascinating.
Because there's like no in between. It's like 0 to 10.
No.
That's what's fascinating
No,
about
no,
it.
no.
It's wild. Like
Yeah, I'm it you you don't really feel like you're just a brain in a body, you know?
yeah,
You feel like you're more than that. But when your brain gets affected, it's literally just you.
exactly.
Everything that is you is affected. So
People with dementia will lash out because they no longer have social inhibitions or because it is the only way they can express pain, discomfort, fear, disagreement, or anxiety. Some common triggers include overstimulation from loud noises, a frenzied atmosphere, unfamiliar faces. So yeah, like I said, they don't care anymore once they get old. They no longer have social inhibitions. So it's like the part of their brain maybe shuts down where they're like, oh, well, I gotta keep up this image or whatever. And they're like, I'm just an animal. Let me shove a pillow into this guy's throat. This article is just going into backstory on Dan. Let's just say Jeff did some very gross things to some of the female
yeah.
nurses. We're not going to get into that. Oh, yeah, he did some
They should have kicked him
in
out.
those 3 years. Yeah, in those 3 years, he got into about 5 other altercations, physical, and countless things with female nurses. Some of them upwards of 30 years to 40 years younger than him. The youngest, it
Social
says,
inhibitions.
was 20, and
Jeez.
she was touched inappropriately, unfortunately, for her and her family. So yeah, anything you'd like to say on the matter?
I don't want to get old.
You cut out there for a second. What was that?
I don't want to get old.
You're forever 18, forever 23. Get that
Exactly.
tattooed
Exactly.
right on your chest, right under "Get Good." Which, if you don't understand that, go back and watch the other episodes.
You don't understand that. You're a loser.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of my get off my podcast. Oh, to wrap up that article, I will say it was not handled correctly. I don't think. I feel like
No.
if a guy dies, there should be punishments, no matter what's going on with you mentally. Even more so, I would say.
At least move him to a facility that has more security
Oh yeah, something
than that, you know?
away from other residents, away from younger
Somebody died
nurses.
because they didn't handle that correctly.
Exactly. And the mental trauma on the other people in those 3 years after
Exactly.
somebody died.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
mean, he was 66 and he had dementia, but that's not really an excuse. I mean, I guess it could be. I mean, it's an excuse, but it's not an excuse to not do something about it.
Yeah.
There are still actions
Yeah.
they could have taken. They being the
You
nurses
can
or the
predict that
family.
somebody who's been violent before is going to be violent again,
Yes.
especially as they get worse, you know?
And that was why he was
It's
in the
progressive.
nursing home also.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wild situation.
Not good.
Yeah, stupid Jeff. It didn't say if he died or not. It just,
I would assume he did.
yeah. Let me see when this article was put up.
Was it a small town article or something?
This article is today.
Really?
Yes. So he might still be alive.
Who published the article?
NRP or NPR. NPR.org.
Really?
Yes.
They must be bored.
Yeah. Is that or Kamala Harris is what they're talking about?
That's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next article, I would like to say shout out to our special guest from last week, Alfie, our biggest fan and first ever guest on the podcast. Last week was our episode 10 special. We ran for hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, a lot longer than we normally do. It was a good episode. Lots of topics. I would say it's our most controversial episode, but we won't get into that. If you're curious, go watch it or listen to it. I believe that one also has the most views of any of our other podcasts, or I mean, of any of our other episodes. That
Because I didn't have my webcam on.
they're like, "Oh, Brett's face is in there." Like finally.
Finally.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Brett did not have his
About
cam
time.
on because he was feeling a bit under the weather. Luckily, he is feeling better now and did not die. To our knowledge, this could be a doppelganger.
I'm gonna say
Surely get good tattoo to prove it.
deep.
It might actually be a doppelganger.
I'm a modest man.
Yeah, it's
You know,
definitely a
I'm
doppelganger.
gonna go shirtless on YouTube.
You can just take off your shirt and we'll censor it in editing. This would be a big black box.
Oh yeah, it's like mosaic.
Yeah, it's just completely pointless. Yeah. But yeah, that was
Or like censor everything except for underneath my shirt.
the face, the background, and then just your nipples exposed.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
We edit it so your nipples are on your face and your face is on your chest.
Why?
Modesty.
That's not even censoring.
Yeah, it doesn't accomplish anything. Oh, but yeah, that was a good episode. If you haven't checked it out, I would recommend it. I would say it's one of our best yet. I feel like it was our most polished, most fluid.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of topics. And we are planning on having more guests in the future. We have a couple upcoming, actually, possibly. I can't confirm nor deny. And you could have a chance to be a guest if you are a fan and you want to be a one. Just text message me on in the comments, and I will I'll consider. Anyway, moving on. Did you have an article, Fred?
Not really an article, more just like a statement. But
I'm intrigued.
Kamala Harris and Trump are set up to have their first debate upcoming pretty soon here.
Interesting. Do we have a date yet?
That would be in the article, maybe.
Dude, this article was uploaded 9 minutes ago. You were on top of it.
9 minutes ago. We've been running longer than that. What?
How is this possible? Oh,
Yeah,
September
September
10th.
10th.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Before you continue, we might actually do a watch together as we did with the Biden and Trump debate. If you are interested in that, join
Hopefully
the Discord server.
a little more streamlined and watchable than
What?
the
The
Biden
debate
Trump
or
debate.
the watch together?
The debate
Yeah.
this time around.
It was kind of, it was a little bit odd. There was a lot of silence, a lot of Biden
It was
repeating himself.
it was hard to watch.
It was a very strange debate.
What are your initial expectations in terms of the upcoming debate?
It's going to be like
What
a
do you think
yell
it'll be
off.
like?
They're just going to be talking over each other.
Yeah.
She's going to be very passive aggressive and very insulting, but so is he, and that's going to be very entertaining.
Do you think
I think he's going to have
they'll
more.
be like evenly matched in terms of
No, I
how
don't.
they handled the other person?
I don't, because what I've seen what I've seen from interviews and people asking each of them questions, she has a tendency to avoid the question, and kind of she does this laugh that she does. I've noticed. And he will also avoid the question sometimes, but not as frequently. I say he. I feel like he'll have a better chance of answering specific questions. Personally, I think he'll have an edge in that regard. Her voice is a lot louder, so I think she'll get a lot more words in. But I don't know if they will be as high quality as his.
Well, they were doing the muting thing.
What do you mean?
Well, they tried to.
What,
They tried to mute the other person all
Oh, really?
in the last debate. Yeah.
Do we know what network it will air on? I know it was hosted by CNN last time, but there was a lot of strange rules. I'm curious if they've released the rules yet.
It'll be hosted by Fox and NBC.
Interesting.
They're set up to actually have 3 more debates.
Wow.
2 in addition to this.
Okay.
Actually. Oh, okay. So let's see. ABC News will host the first debate. Fox will host the second, and NBC will host the third.
I see. Do we got anything on the rules? Because remember, one of the rules that was a little bit strange from the last one was there was no studio audience. It was just
yeah.
They might not have been released yet.
Yeah, I doubt they have yet.
I don't see anything on this article.
Trump called Kamala barely competent and criticized her intelligence.
That's great. It's probably true.
Harris said if Trump is so concerned about the success of Vice President Harris, he could, get out there on the campaign trail.
My problem with her specifically is there's something about her voice that just rubs me the wrong way. Her accent and the way she pronounces words, and also her laugh, just bothers me. I don't know. I do not know why. But
yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
She's a character.
She is. Also, her campaign things are a little bit strange. I don't know if you saw her most recent one. She had like a whole performance and like a bunch of random rappers, and she was like quoting them. She was like quoting rappers, and then she had some female rapper come on, and she was like twerking on live television in a suit. In a suit that was a crop top. It was quite odd for a political event.
She was just trying to get the younger generations on board by doing random stuff.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna Google Kamala.
I don't want to watch that.
Neither do I, but I am curious what exactly the event was. No, I don't want to watch that nonsense either. I've just seen clips. It was a rally. It says here's an article. It says Kamala Harris rally kicks off with a rapper performing a song so vulgar it was mostly censored.
Was it Cardi B?
No, Megan.
Oh. Same thing.
Yep. This says I don't know if I can say that. Oh, okay, wait. I'm just gonna read this article.
No, I'm worried.
It says this is from the Western Journal.
Okay.
I read the headline earlier. So vulgar is mostly censored. Megan Thee Stallion just put to music basically putting to music the entirety of Vice President Kamala Harris's entire political career in the song that she sang. Quote, she's prostituted her soul to win the Democratic and nomination for president.
Or
I'm not done.
okay.
I'm not done. This article just roasts Kamala Harris. The Grammy Award-winning rapper couldn't have been more effective in graphically portraying just how low Harris will sink to achieve her ambitions. As she, I'm not done. It gets worse, dude. As she jiggled her way all over the stage, her own lack of talent perfectly represented that of the woman who invited her to entertain at the rally.
Ah,
It just goes to show you that being revered in politics and entertainment has nothing to do with ability. Rather, it's based on pandering. If you can
who wrote
stomach
this
if you
article?
can stomach more than 40 minutes of loathsome behavior that sets women back more than it elevates them, you can view Megan Thee Stallions and quote hotties for Harris end quote deliver their version of why you actually shouldn't vote for Harris.
Why? They're brutal. They're so brutal.
The verbiage enmeshed in the chosen songs isn't anything to be proud of either. There is nothing present in the lyrics or choreography that anyone would want their daughters to strive through for. It's just plain demeaning and crude. That's a fair point.
It is.
I'm not gonna show it, but this outfit that this female rapper is wearing is like these tight suit pants. It's like meant to be like a play on like a tuxedo, like what Kamala Harris wears, except it's a crop top.
Yeah. That just sounds so gross.
It is. It's disgusting.
Not
In politics on
dignified at
TV.
all. This is somebody who's running for president.
Not to mention she's running for president. One of Kamala Harris's lead campaigning things is like, oh, first female president. We got to show women empowerment. And then they bring this rapper out here rapping about her her body parts in a crude and vulgar way.
That's just
Here is a quote.
not really any self-respect, honestly.
There's no.
You know?
Here is a quote. I'm going to censor out all of the cuss words by saying blank. And I'm going to read 2 lines from the song. Quote, that waist, that blank, them blank, that waist, that blank, them blank. Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big blank. This was at a political rally for a president.
I'm honestly concerned.
Kamala Harris's handlers trotted out talentless rapper Megan Thee Stallion to twerk and gyrate in front of a rally crowd while barely rapping her song because it's so explicit. The point of the rally was to advocate for abortion.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
I truly don't know what to say.
How is that empowering?
How is it relevant?
At all, really?
This is the political campaign. She's running for president. Oh, let me bring out this rapper to rap a song about my body in a vulgar and explicit way on live TV to show women's rights? I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. How could you look at that and be like, oh, yeah, she should be president?
I can't respect that.
I can't. And again, I don't care what political party you are. I'm not even saying this just because I don't agree with her political party. I'm saying this just because it just seems wrong.
No matter what message you'd be promoting there.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's not taking yourself seriously. That's not taking.
I would say the same.
Leading our country seriously.
If Trump, I guarantee, if Trump brought her out, the outrage would be wild. You know what I mean?
It would be crazy.
It would. There would be so much lashback. They'd be like, "Oh, this is disgusting, exploiting this woman for Trump." But no, because it's a woman president. They're like, "Oh, I don't understand. This is." I mean, I'm
Okay.
honestly, I didn't even.
I feel like if you support that, why?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I can really have a political conversation with
I
you if you're
I can't take
support.
that seriously at all. Like, there's no respect to be had there.
I see. Yeah, I cannot comprehend. I it just does. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, I don't. That's just wild. Honestly, like I can't. I don't know. I'm speechless. I didn't know it was that bad. I knew that.
No.
All I knew was that she had brought out a female rapper till we read that article. I didn't know it was mostly censored and it was disgusting and it had nothing to do with what they were rapping with what the rally was about.
Not to mention it was like overtly sexual and
Overtly, yes.
overtly sexual,
If that, yes.
and it's a political campaign.
It is a political campaign, and she was out there rapping about her large blank and curvy blank and fat blank. That was the lyrics. And they did a beep over every blank that I just said.
That's so dumb.
I'm proud to say I had heard of that rapper, but I've never heard one of her songs before. I'm proud to say that.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go back and censor the rapper's name just so that way she doesn't get any publicity. I'm gonna be honest. I won't do that because that's a lot of editing, but that's just bothersome to me. I don't.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
and again, I don't really understand how that's relevant in any way to a
It isn't.
yeah. I mean, if she had came out and dramatically sang the national anthem or rapped about something political,
Or something relevant.
yes. Oh. She brought out a number of. She brought out a different performer that was a male rapper. I don't think he rapped though. I think he just did a speech or something. It's just a strange first rally to
It
start
feels
off her
like she's
campaign.
trying to. She's really just exploiting
Essentially,
those people and their names,
another
their publicity.
another thing I've noticed is her social media accounts are much more active than Trump's in terms of like trying to keep up with internet trends, if you know what I mean. So a lot of her social media posts and stuff like that are keeping up with internet trends as opposed to Trump's. So I feel like maybe
Cool.
the rally was to get clips per se.
Yeah, I think it could be trying to appeal to younger generations.
Yes. I mean, I
Is
don't
that,
know.
isn't Megan the Stallion pretty popular?
I don't know. I think she's fairly hated in the rap community, but popular in terms of women rappers because there's not very many female rappers that are big.
Yeah.
Big in popularity, not size. All the female rappers are big. In
I don't
size.
know her lyrics, man.
And yeah, that's fair. She claims to be voluptuous. Anything else? This conversation started with talking about the debate. So anything else you'd like to
Yeah.
say on the matter of the debate coming up? How do you think? What's your predictions? How do you think that'll go?
I think it'll be more
Maybe she'll bring out a rapper, and the rapper will debate on beat.
maybe
On beat.
maybe she'll come out in a crop top.
She starts twerking
Let's
instead
see,
of
huh?
answering the questions. So, what is your opinion on abortion rights? Just turns around.
So dumb.
Oh,
Ah,
I don't understand. And I don't. I mean, not to get too deep into it, but there's also the part of her race. Her race isn't another thing to say. A lot of people were calling that appropriation because she's not actually black, and she claims to be black.
yeah, I don't.
A lot of people were saying, hey, she's bringing out this black rapper to try to get the black community on her side against Trump.
I have no idea what she was thinking.
I don't know. I do not know.
I think the debate. Well, I thought the debate would be taken more seriously than
Yeah, now I'm nervous.
with Biden, but now I'm not sure.
Imagine Trump turns the tables. He comes out in a crop top and starts twerking.
Exactly. I want Trump to come out in a bandage,
Again.
and I want her to come out in a crop top.
Whoa.
I think that'll
Whoa, bro.
not
Whoa.
for my own gratification.
Like, I want her to come out with no clothes on. See how that goes.
Just, I want them to do things that are both relevant to
Yes.
themselves.
Yes. He can.
I'm tired.
I want him
I'll
to.
attribute it to that.
I want him to get the gun that he was shot with and just have it over his shoulder as he walks out. And then just
I wanted to like get shot.
what? Whoa! Mid twerk.
Dude. Security comes out, tackles her. Yeah, no. I think it'll be hopefully more understandable and more like an actual debate.
I hope so.
Instead of
I hope they take it somewhat seriously. I will
two
say,
4-year-olds yelling at each other
yeah, I think it will be.
for the future of our country. You know,
honestly, politics have been crazy lately, man. Like both
They-
sides. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I'll take Trump over it, but I mean, Trump, he's pretty old. He's competent, but I think he's a bit too old.
He put it as there are people that would be better presidents than him, but those aren't the people
Yeah.
that run for president.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. No, I can see that. But then
he's
also,
the one who is.
there are worse, and those worse ones bring out female rappers.
Exactly.
So.
Plus, she's just kind of creepy.
She is a creepy lady.
Kind of creepy.
She is not as creepy as Hillary Clinton.
But she's getting there. I feel like
She is getting
when
there.
she gets older, she'll
How-
be as creepy as Hillary.
How old do you think she is?
Ah.
Oh, another thing I would like to say is she
50.
did choose a vice president earlier this week. Tim Walz. I don't know anything about him.
I
Anyway,
thought she chose a Shapiro.
What?
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz.
I thought she chose Shapiro guy.
No, Tim Walz. He's an old white guy. Tables have turned. She used to be a vice president for an old white guy. I thought I had an idea. It would have been hilarious if she chose Biden.
I feel like Biden's probably in a home right now. So
Probably. How old do you think Kamala Harris is?
like 50.
59. How old do you think Hillary Clinton is?
63.
76.
Really? He's old.
Yeah, how old do you think Trump is?
66.
78.
Really?
He's almost 80. He's walking around like he's 60.
Everybody's old, man.
I think there should be an age, or I think we talked about this in the past. Let's not get into it. Excuse me. I think we talked about this on a past podcast, so let's not get into it. I just think there should be an age gap. Driver's license also. So I feel like old people
Well, he's
should be driving.
cognitively there.
It actually kind of ties into our last article with the
Exactly.
dementia. Very similar.
Imagine if he had been driving. Imagine
yeah.
if he had been driving.
He would have just hit them and then got out.
I
and
think they
pushed them
do.
after
I
got
think
out.
they do. I think they do revoke your license
Okay, that's good. That's good. I didn't know.
after a while.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yes.
That'd be something to look into.
Anything else you'd like
Yeah.
to say on the matter of the debate or Kamala Harris in general?
I'm less excited for the debate now.
I'm interested though.
Reading
'Cause I
that
feel like
article.
one of them's gonna pull a stunt of some kind.
Probably.
So I'm curious. We probably will, for the viewers at home, we probably will do, or at work, I don't know where you're listening to, I don't really care. We are we will probably do a watch together for the debate, September 10th in the Discord server. that will be free to attend if you're interested. Just find the link. It should be YouTube, Spotify, wherever. If need be, email us, which will be in the bios for sure, or description, and just request a link, whatever. If you're interested, I don't even care if you stay. You can just leave after. But
He doesn't care.
I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Join if you want.
Join if you want.
Leave.
Listen. If you don't like the podcast, just click off now.
Except for you, Alfie.
Except for you, yeah. You know, we know you're here, Alfie. We know you're listening. We're right in your ears at the moment. We're inside of Alfie. You opened your mouth like 4 times like you're about to say something, and you just couldn't find the words. You're like, moving on.
Let's move on.
Moving on. I got some would you rather questions. Would you rather only be able to communicate via emojis or only be able to communicate via slang words?
Like half my messages are just emojis now, so
Emojis.
probably emojis. Slang is just gross.
Give them something to decipher.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Well, slang you'd have to decipher too.
Depends. I mean, if you're talking with the right crowd, I don't know. All these kids making up all these words these days, man.
Gen Alpha slang, man.
I heard one the other day.
Like,
I don't want to say it because it might be a cuss word. I don't even know.
probably not. It probably isn't.
No, I think it is. I asked what it was, and everybody laughed.
What is it?
I don't know.
You said worse.
No, I don't know if I want to get into it. Moving on. Yeah, I agree. Emojis. Because yes, slang is disgusting. I do not.
It is.
I can't fathom it. I just want people. I mean, the most slang I will tolerate the word rad. I use that pretty frequently. I use hip as
Cool.
in like hipster. Like
Cool.
like with it kind of. Radical. I'll use radical if I'm feeling like I want to if I want to sound more dignified instead of rad.
Okay.
I'll use what's up
Sick.
I'll use what's up instead of what's up. I'll use hi instead of hello.
Really?
Yeah. And then hello instead of greetings. And
Wow.
then greetings instead of
Salutations.
Yeah, salutations. And then salutations instead of why hello there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will use
No,
I don't know if it counts as slang, but I'll use abbreviations. So in messages.
I use sick.
I use dope. Yeah, I'm pretty with it. I'm pretty hip.
You're
As
with it.
we've mentioned in the past, we are the streets.
We are.
The streets came out of our man womb. And we are the streets' fathers. The streets obey us. We don't obey the streets.
I have nothing to add to that.
Moving on to the next would you rather questions. Would you rather give away all of your money or all of your possessions?
Isn't money a possession?
We'll say like all of the things you own that you've purchased with money.
Uh,
I think is what the point of the question was specifically.
Well, I'm kind of broke, so money.
Fair.
You can always sell possessions.
I would also
You
do
can't
money because even if I'm not
money.
broke, I can use my possessions and sell them.
Exactly.
Endless loophole.
Or use them to work as well.
Yeah, or just
You-
work.
Like you get rid of all your clothes, your glasses, and your car.
That's true. That
How-
is actually possessions is possessions is actually a big loss compared to money.
It's huge.
You'd be
'cause
completely
nobody-
naked.
I doubt you are rich enough to be able to afford to get all that back.
No,
So-
like I don't think for the people unless you just have a lot of money and not a lot of things. I feel like the majority of people out there will have more value in the possessions they own
Yeah.
than in the money that they have in their bank. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a dumb question. Yeah, I'd give away all my money
Mm.
to the homeless people so they can buy meth. Would you rather have?
End up in a nursing home and kill people.
Yeah, I'll give it all to Jeff so he can get out there and get back to pushing people and groping women.
Exactly.
Unless he's dead, because the article didn't really give us closure. I don't know.
He might be. I think that this happened like 20 years ago,
You think so?
and they're just so
Yeah. I like to
dry
imagine.
on news right
I
now.
like to imagine Jeff doesn't exist and it's just written by AI.
They might be. Like, some
Who
of these
knows?
articles are really bad.
Maybe the
Some of
Kamala
these
Harris.
articles, with how like storybook it was in the
It
beginning,
was written. That's true, actually.
it might be AI generated.
Wow. If you guys can find any information on that, email us. Cause
We should run it through an AI detected
could you imagine, dude?
thing. Because they always sound like overly
But also,
poetic, you know?
yeah, but also, I mean, some people just have that eye. The way with words, I guess.
For storybook. Is that a
No, yeah, that'd be it. That'd be
1 liter bottle of LaCroix?
Yeah.
Where do you even get that?
Dude. I buy them in bulk.
Did you get that on Amazon or something? Like
No,
what?
I found them in a store. I buy them like 10 at a time.
I don't even know what to say to that. Wow.
It's one.
I'm kind of impressed.
It's an entire liter. It's 38 ounces. They come in lemon, lime, grapefruit, clear, which is just flavorless, and berry. They come.
How much
They're
for like a
for one
yeah.
99 cents plus deposit.
Seriously?
Yes.
I'd be down to buy those in bulk, man.
I know. I just buy 10.
You just take that to work and you just all day long.
Yes,
You
actually
got-
no. Actually no. $1.99. $1.99. My bad. So it's $20 for
Wow,
10.
okay.
That's still not bad.
That isn't
Considering
that is not bad at all.
38 ounces, and you can buy 8-pack of 12-ounce ones for $5, but they're cans. I guess that's probably a better deal, but I like the liters.
Yeah. I mean is it cheaper or is it more expensive?
I think it's so better. I think it's more value to buy an 8-pack of 12-ounce
Yeah.
12
Well,
ounce
those are
cans
tiny.
for $5 as
You can
opposed
drink a
to
ton of-
1 liter for $1.99.
Wouldn't the deposit be more on cans than it would be for
No,
plastic?
same deposit here.
Oh.
10 cents.
We're all right then.
Oh, I just narrowed down our states by a lot.
Oh no.
Yep.
10 cents.
10 cents, yeah. I said 10 cents. There's like 8 states with that. Oh no. They're going to find our location.
1 in 8 chance.
Yes. If you email in.
Well, you
guys
just
get-
told them that we're in the same state, so
No?
you just doxed me.
I'm not going to. I was going to say something, but it would have actually doxed you, so I didn't say it. But, if you guys could email us first, try and guess what state we're in, I'll give you a cookie.
That means he's gonna come to your house and kill you because of you the monkey.
Yeah, you know too much. When I say cookie, I mean I'll beat you to death with a knife that looks like a cookie.
A knife? You'll beat them to death with a knife?
No, I'll beat them to death with a cookie that is rock hard because I cooked it too long.
Oh,
And then I'll make them eat it
creative.
in their last breaths.
You could probably break their window with it.
Yeah, I'll just throw it like a frisbee. It'll hit them in the head, breaking their neck instantly.
Exactly.
Yep. So don't try to find us. 'Cause
You'll crack their skull.
now you know what we're capable of.
Give them the
We'll just
brain
overcook.
hemorrhage.
We're so crazy. We will overcook a cookie that could be eaten
Exactly.
by us, and then we'll beat you to death with it. So
crazy we're wasteful.
yeah, we'll waste perfectly good cookie just because of you. Okay, that's how out of our minds we are. Also, we're convinced we have wombs.
Exactly.
So, because that's where the streets came out of. Obviously, we're insane. Okay, dude, don't mess with us, people. Right?
I
Brett said he wanted to see Donald Trump twerk. I'm pretty sure. So
exactly.
we're insane, obviously. So
Exactly.
yeah. Let's not get. I mean, I feel like there's an episode a while back where we started comparing how street we were. So let's just not do a repeat of that.
We've done it, I think, like once every 2 episodes.
Every episode, yeah. Every episode, we're like, we're out of our minds, people. Okay, listen. We go to the
Loco,
park.
bro.
We go to the park, and we don't play on the swing set. Okay, we go all the way to the park.
Exactly.
We don't even swing. We don't even go do it.
We watch children at the park.
We'll go down the slide once or twice because we're not animals, but we will not even swing on the swing set. Okay.
Exactly.
We go to the store, and we walk through the store, and then we leave without buying anything.
But we don't steal anything either.
We wait. Yeah, we don't steal anything either. We wait in line, and then we act like we're gonna take forever on our order once it's our turn, and then we don't buy anything. We walk away.
It's like a GameStop line where it's like
We say we're gonna pay for the person's meal behind us in the drive-thru, and then we just drive away.
without paying.
Oh yeah, we don't pay at all. I mean, we pay for ours. We're not monsters, but
Yeah. We're loco.
we say bad morning instead of good morning. Exactly. We're monsters. We don't say happy birthday. We say sad birthday.
Birthday.
That makes sad birthday. We don't wish people Merry Christmas. We wish them. We just say Christmas. We said we hope you have a Christmas.
Enjoy your Yule.
Yeah, yeah. When we go to the beach, we don't even take off our shoes. We just step on the bare toes of other people with our shoes on.
Steel toe.
Mm-hmm. When we use the bathroom, we don't flush. We just leave it for the next person.
But
It's too far, man.
I have stories of school bathrooms at
Dude,
at college.
let's get into that.
I don't know why.
Let's get into that. Let's hear.
I don't know why. Okay. One time.
Yeah, let's hear this.
One time. I have one story.
Okay.
I lied. I have one story.
I still want to hear it.
I walk into the bathroom
Yeah.
and I'm like ready to go home. I'm tired.
This is at the
I'm on
Tennessee college that you
caffeine.
attend, right? In Tennessee?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Just Tennessee.
The stall is painted wall to wall in blood.
Is that time
And
of the month?
the
huh?
toilet, the toilet is covered in blood.
Yeah, you went to the women's bathroom, didn't you?
No,
Oh no!
inside and out, the toilet is painted in blood. It's running down the sides.
Oh no!
And so I just go to the restroom and then I leave.
Yeah,
And
I don't. Just don't ask
haven't
questions.
thought about it until now. I don't know what that was. I don't want to know. It
How
happened.
do you know it was blood?
Uh, it smelled like iron.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's
There
fair.
was enough of it that you could smell it.
Okay, that's not good.
And
Was it runny
no,
or was it like
you would have passed out
me?
from the amount of blood. Like the average person would have passed out from the amount of blood.
You're like, I'm a bit above average, obviously. So
Obviously.
I didn't pass out. I just did my business like a man, and I walked out of there.
Dude, like I didn't process it until I was in the car driving home. It's like,
You were
that was a lot of
you
blood.
were a shell of the man you used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It traumatized
I
me.
went into a truck stop, and somebody
That's
had
dangerous territory.
it is somebody had defecated in the urinal and peed on the floor outwards of the urinal.
Because the urinal was too full.
Like they sat on the urinal and peed outward while
Was
defecating.
there one of those drain things
No,
in the middle of the floor?
no.
No.
I just stepped over it and went to the stall because I don't want to.
Deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Realistically, if I could do it again, actually, I don't want to give away. I don't go the things I would have done. Let's just say I would have handled things a bit differently.
Things happen. Things
Yeah,
happen.
and that's not the worst thing I've seen in a public restroom, but that's the worst thing in terms of human feces or
Exactly.
that's the worst thing I've seen in terms of stuff from the human body. I've seen worse things in bathrooms.
Yeah. No, like,
I
just wasn't expecting it
would
at all.
yeah. No, I mean I wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah.
Door was closed, so I had to open it
Was it
to.
for visualization? Was it a single person? Was it a single person bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can lock the
No.
door.
No.
It had stalls.
No. It had stalls. The stalls are like this wide. It's barely fits my shoulders.
Yeah.
And it was on the walls on the like, because it was like the metal walls, and then it had the plaster wall behind it, and then it was on the floor, on the toilet tank and seat,
Goodness gracious.
and
Was there a body?
pooled on the floor. No,
Wow.
there should have been.
It may have been fake. Was it? Was it Halloween?
It wasn't. It smelled like iron.
Hmm.
Unless it was like pig's blood or something. It wasn't
Possible.
Halloween. It was the middle of spring.
It could have been a prank. I don't know. Maybe somebody gutted a pig in there.
Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe they just decided to butcher a pig
yeah.
in the bathroom.
You
I
never
don't know.
Yeah, at a college.
I like. There was another guy in the bathroom, and he walked and saw me holding open the stall and just staring
At him
and
or at the blood?
at the blood.
Okay.
We made eye contact, and then I left, and I never thought about it until now.
He didn't.
And I don't remember why.
Did the look that he gave you kind of like you guys both kind of noticed?
No, we both just kind of like,
So he did notice it. You weren't hallucinating.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no,
You weren't on shrooms again, were you?
no. I
Oh my god.
I don't know what happened,
That's
and I do not
horrifying.
want to. That's
I don't know. I feel bad for the janitor, honestly.
yeah, exactly.
He's got
Yeah,
he's got a rough night ahead of him after that one.
well, he threw away a homework assignment I made, so he
The
he
janitor?
can pick it up. Yeah,
Did you leave it somewhere?
it was a survey, and so it was a paper survey. I put a QR code on a piece of paper and I set it out and threw it away.
Hmm. Well, he's probably just doing his job. I wouldn't.
I won't forgive him for doing his job.
You hate that janitor? What's the janitor's name?
I don't know, but I was like, oh
Let's
yeah,
get his full name
I
and
gotta get
address.
20.
We'll send the fans after him. We'll dox him.
I needed 20 people to do this survey,
Okay.
and I got one person to do
Well,
the
it's for the
survey.
janitor.
He threw away the paper. It probably was the
He did it.
janitor.
He's like, ha! Threw it away.
It's just like, I'm throwing this away, but I'll give him one.
Yeah, I'll give him one. I'll give
survey
him one. He's
recipient.
curious.
It was a bad survey.
It's sad.
It was on taxes. So
Oh, that's boring.
yeah,
All right, moving on to our next
but
article.
somebody did it.
That's good. It's probably him.
Yeah, no, I got distracted.
We all did.
It was
I mean,
probably
we
him in the
both did.
bathroom too.
That was a fascinating story, honestly.
Yeah, if anybody has like a medical explanation for why that
Other than mine, and
would be there,
yeah, maybe they just
or
had,
your imagination,
maybe maybe they just had a really bad bloody nose.
maybe that's why it was in the toilet
Maybe they pee blood
and not the sink.
instead of urine like normal. Maybe urine runs through their veins and they pee blood.
Maybe they were just like sweating blood.
Maybe they were a vampire and they drink blood, but they dropped their hydro flask.
Maybe
That adds up.
maybe they just had some really red steak.
Maybe it was just ketchup, but then at the same time they grinded down some sheet metal in there.
Maybe.
So it smelled like iron, but it was actually just ketchup.
Either way, it's a story I'll pass on to my children. So.
Oh yeah, your children. You tell them they're as young as possible. 6 or 7.
Exactly.
Give them a fear of public restrooms because that's just more sanitary.
That'll happen to them
Oh yeah.
if they do not.
You
eat
bring them around.
whatever they're not wanting to eat.
Bring them around and take them in a circle. All right, kids.
Yeah,
I'm going to warn
exactly.
you about the dangers of public restrooms.
The stall.
When I was the ripe
Tell you about the
age of
stall.
46 years old, I went into a college bathroom. Blood all over the walls. Oh, I leaked your age. My bad. Moving on to the next article. This comes from NBC News. I'm just gonna say like a disclaimer. I don't know. A warning. This talks about pedophiles and death. I don't know. I don't know if I should put a disclaimer over that because we referred to pedophiles. I don't think it's nothing too graphic, but I don't know. I just know some people have an issue with stuff like that.
You can mention it, but
I just did, yeah. Thanks though for your permission. Bread. NBC
you
News.
could put out. I have a great idea.
Okay, I'm listening.
You could put out a disclaimer.
I'll say it before I get into the article, and then I'll ask you if we should put it out. As I'm putting it out to make it like a little clever, but then we will acknowledge it afterwards to be extra self-aware of the humor. Then we'll acknowledge us acknowledging it. Anyway, moving on.
I give you my permission to do that.
Thank you. Oh, great and powerful bread. I do not know what I would have done. A better idea. I'll go to each of our fans' houses individually, and I will warn them right before they listen to this part.
Exactly.
Email in your address. I promise I won't do anything illegal to you or your loved ones.
Exactly.
NBC News. A Florida mom, of course, Florida. A Florida mom claimed her neighbors were pedophiles and tried to have them killed. Authorities say deputies were ambushed instead. After 3 deputies were shot, one fatally, a search showed the suspects had more than 20 guns, body armor, and anti-government propaganda. A Florida mother whose family is accused... The Florida mother who called in the pedophiles... His family is accused of ambushing law enforcement officers, killing one, injuring 2, had sought to lure neighbors who she believed were pedophiles into a fatal trap at her home, but was interrupted by authorities, law enforcement officials said. So she was trying to lure these alleged pedophiles to her house so she could kill them. Instead, law enforcement showed up. So she shot the cops.
And they killed the law enforcement.
1 out of the 3 is what I've gathered so far. A search of the family's home in this town's northwest of Orlando revealed more than 20 high-caliber rifles, shotguns, and pistols that had been staged around the living room. For your neighbors, that's a lot of firepower.
In that one room?
In the living room. For
You don't want to risk not being able to find a little gun, I guess.
they're like, hey, when the neighbors come over, we got 20 guns. Okay, I mean it doesn't take that many guns, but okay. Authorities also found a stockpile of ammunition, body armor, gas masks, ready-to-eat meals, ghillie suits, anti-government propaganda, and media promoting conspiracy theories. I mean, mad respect to the family.
Florida.
Florida, man. Yeah, makes me want to move. Just embrace my heritage of white men who retire there in America. Unless I'm already there, because the fans don't know. Could be one of the 8 states.
It could be.
You never. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe you don't know.
Maybe I don't.
You could be in Florida.
I'm in a basement right now. I've never seen the light of day.
Mm-hmm.
I must say though, I mean, yeah, you killed some cops. I don't agree with that, but impressive for you to have that much gear. Honestly, I just wish you would have used it.
What
better.
did the neighbors do
I don't know.
to make them?
I'm also curious. Quote, this was nothing short of an ambush. The evidence will show that, end quote, said the state attorney told reporters. Her name was Julie. She's 48 years old. She was arrested on suspicion of murder, attempted murder, and other crimes. Court records show she's being held without bail. Because of the nature of the alleged crime, the case must go before a grand jury within 21 days. So they're really expediting this.
Yeah, no, they're gonna get it done quick.
Yeah, September 3rd is when her court case is scheduled. The public defender, she couldn't even afford an attorney, unfortunately, for her, because that's not a good thing usually. And I mean, I guess there's probably some good public defenders, but no. The public defender.
Gonna need a really good one for that.
Oh, a really good one. Oh, the plot thickens. Her husband, named Michael, was found dead in the family's home the Friday after. No, yes, that day. The husband fatally shot a deputy and critically injured a second officer, and then he was shot dead. So the husband died, and the wife is being put on trial for being part of it. But the husband is the one who actually did the killings. That's why she's only being held on suspicion of murder, among other charges, because the person who actually did the murder is not alive anymore.
Otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Michael and the couple's 2 adult daughters were all found dead on the family's couch. Okay, I see how the direction this took. Michael, these 2 cops came in. He shot one of them dead, shot the other one. The other one fell, not dead, but he thought he was dead. He then killed his daughters and himself on the couch. And the 3rd officer came in to find 4 dead bodies and the injured officer. This is a little bit deeper than a neighborhood dispute.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Glad I put that disclaimer at the beginning. My goodness.
That took a dark turn.
It took a really dark turn. So he was in there with 2 adult daughters, and they were all sitting on the couch together.
With 20 guns.
Yeah. One of the deputies was shot dead. The other one was injured. The one who died actually went into the house fully, which is why he died. But his body camera actually captured the family taking their own lives. But it says lives,
Really?
so each of the adult daughters also did. But yeah, that was caught on footage. It has not been released to the public.
I can imagine why.
Yeah, it probably will be, honestly. It'll be on Reddit in a month or something.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sheriff first responded to the scene at 7:45 p.m. We're told that a woman, later identified as Julia, was assaulting her neighbors, whom she accused of, quote, being sinners, and saying, quote, I know what you did. So she was assaulting her neighbors. They called. The cops came into the house. The dad shot at the husband/dad shot at one, killing him, shot the other, injured him, they all killed themselves except for the wife. Julia identified herself as...
Where was the wife at this point?
Huh?
Where was the wife at this point?
The neighbors, and she was at the neighbors assaulting the neighbor. Cops pulled her aside, and then they go into the house. After she's been pulled aside, that is when the shooting happens. After the officer goes into the house to see what is going on. After an officer arrives, Julia identified herself as, quote, Helen, under God's will, end quote.
This is taking another turn.
Dude, what? Oh my gosh. She said her neighbors were involved in pedophilia. One of the neighbors told the officer that Julia had tried to get them to walk to her house, but that the neighbor didn't trust her for obvious reasons. When they did not go with Julia, Julia started to physically assault them and try to physically take them to the house. That is when the law enforcement was called in. In a later interview, because of course, so breaking it down now. Julia, who says my name is Helen under God's will, goes over to try to lure her neighbors, who she thinks are pedophiles, to her home. Inside of her home are her husband and 2 adult daughters with weapons ready to kill her neighbors. Julia then cannot convince the neighbors, so she tries to harm them. One of the neighbor's family members calls law enforcement. Law enforcement pulls up, pulls Julia to the side. 2 officers go to Julia's home. 1 gets shot.
Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. So then later, Julia survived because she was pulling aside.
Yeah.
Julia later admitted that she was trying to lure them to her home so her husband could kill her, and she was not successful because of the cops. After in an interview with investigators, Julia said she could, quote, visualize souls, and it was her job to bring her husband, quote, Dark Souls reference.
That's not the time. That's not the time. Oh.
The Elden Ring mentioned.
Oh no.
Anyway, she was, and she said it was, quote, her job to bring her husband, quote, Dark Souls. After she was handcuffed, deputies tried to conduct a welfare check. So she was handcuffed. Deputies went to do a welfare check, found 2 dead dogs on the front lawn, and the windows had all been bashed out. So they believed that the burglary was in progress, causing them to open the door because that's probable cause enough. They go inside.
Good.
1 instantly gets shot because they were waiting by the door, I assume.
Mm-hmm. They were just going to shoot the neighbors as soon as they came in.
They were ready.
I doubt they wanted to shoot cops.
No.
Yeah.
One of the women,
the way that they had it, they had planned it out. You know?
Yeah,
this
they
was
believed it was
systematic.
This may
They
not
had
have
a
been their first
plan
time.
that she would lure them in. That seems way too polished to be something that they just thought up on the spot.
No, she said it was her job to bring souls to her husband.
Yeah, and the wording she used as well.
That's horrendous.
That it's her job, you know?
A woman in the home, later identified as Julia's adult daughter, was caught on body cam racking her gun back and yelling, quote, "My king will kill all of you," end quote. Oh, okay.
Dang, dude.
This is not what I thought this article was, but we're in too deep.
No.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode because this is some heavy stuff.
That is heavy stuff.
I'll go back and editing it, and I'll say something before the intro. Oh. 2 gunshots were heard. A third one moments later. They found the officer was caught. Then there was kind of the officer was fatally shot inside. The other one was injured and was able to get out of the house. There's a standoff type thing, and then this standoff lasted 4 hours. And then,
Wow. Okay.
so the officers were called out at 7 p.m. At 11 p.m., 2 gunshots were heard in quick succession. A third one moments later, and that was the 3 suspects inside taking their own lives. The 3 suspects were Michael, who is the husband, 2 daughters, 23-year-old and a 22-year-old, both daughters, were found inside on the couch. The officer that was injured is suspected to make a full recovery, which is good. And the
Good.
other one was pronounced dead after being airlifted to a hospital, but was pronounced dead before he reached the hospital.
So he was alive before then?
So he what?
It sounds like he was alive before then if they tried to airlift him out.
No, he was pronounced dead on the hospital in the helicopter.
Oh, okay.
He didn't make it to the hospital alive, unfortunately. That's all the article states.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm more speechless than the Kamala Harris thing.
Yeah. That was worse than Kamala Harris thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Anything
Um,
you'd like to say?
I would say authorities should definitely poke around a little bit more than just that surface thing.
I mean, yeah, her.
It sounds. Yeah, it sounds like there was other stuff going on besides just that neighbor.
So yeah, supposedly, so this deranged, I would like to say, family,
Yeah.
believed that they could see other people's souls and believed that the neighbors' souls were dirty. I don't know. Like they were like,
I
oh,
guess.
these people are evil. I can see their soul. We got to do something about it. So it was her job to lure them. That's just so wild, dude.
Yeah. No.
No.
That.
Yeah.
And they planned it out.
I'm glad the neighbors are okay.
Yeah, for sure.
The neighbors were smart. Obviously, she must have been crazy. I'm really curious. I kind of want to see body cam footage, not of the shooting, but of the interview with the wife. I want to see how her mannerisms and how she was acting. Because I'm curious.
From
Like,
her,
what would be worse if she was
from her words,
if she was very calm or if she was very hysterical? I wonder. You know, I've just had
calm would be much worse.
Yes.
Very rational about it.
Yeah.
That would be.
Ah, yes. Well, you see, it's my job to seek out souls and send them to my husband. I've been doing this for a few years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's
yeah, her job. You know,
only in Florida, man.
No, that's the bad part.
What is going on? What's in the water in Florida? Goodness. Earlier this episode, I said I wanted to move to Florida, but
nah.
I
It's like 18-foot snakes and crocodiles and this.
Yeah, and crazy deranged cultists, I would say. Because that doesn't sound like it was a religion wasn't mentioned.
No.
They believed that they were the religion, like they were who they were. Each other.
The
daughters were in on it. Goodness, 20 weapons, bug out bags. Oh my, what a situation. Shout out to the officer's family who passed away. Rest in peace to the officer.
Mm-hmm.
Bad timing.
Yeah. No, it's pretty brutal.
It is. It's kind of messed up. Anything else you'd like to say on the matter?
No.
Not that I can.
No, that's yeah.
It's a really unfortunate situation.
Very unfortunate that it happened. Yeah.
Well, moving on to lighten the mood before we send off, we will do one more Would You Rather question. Man, here at the Timeout Corner Podcast, we're just the kings of segues, man.
Yeah, let's get into it.
To lighten the mood before we go, Would You Rather question. Would you rather Have a head the size of a tennis ball or a head the size of a watermelon?
I mean, I already have a pretty massive head.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
my
could
head is
probably
about the size of
a
a
watermelon
watermelon.
size
Yeah,
head.
it just depends on the watermelon.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like one of those little ones, then for sure.
Yeah, tennis ball would just be wonky.
That's
Okay,
you,
forget that. That's a dumb would you rather question. I forgot our heads are like already decided. Would you rather have a 10-hour dinner with your least favorite political figure or a 10-hour concert of a music group you can't stand?
dinner
Dinner, a
because
10-hour
I could
dinner with a
eat
politician that you
them.
hate. You can eat them. I like that.
I could cannibalize them. They'd be the dinner.
Oh, cannibalize. Um, but
What did you think I meant?
but the music group though, because you could just plug your ears because you're in a band, you're in a concert.
You're at a concert. It's probably cranked up so loud that you'll hear it
It's
even
true.
when you plug your ears.
It's true.
And if you can't leave dinner, there's so many things you could do to just make them uncomfortable.
10 hours though, man.
You could display dominance over this political
I th-
figure.
I thought you said play dominoes.
No,
Okay. I mean,
play
I guess.
dominoes over this
Yeah.
political figure.
Okay. I mean,
No, like you can if it's you and them in like an
yeah.
empty house
For 10
eating
hours.
dinner for 10 hours
Yeah,
and they're
no,
your least favorite political figure, imagine the things,
that's
the
a fair point.
possibilities.
No, that's a fair point. That would be interesting. You could actually ask their. You could debate them
You could? You
and
could.
still have 6 hours left over if you debate them for 4 hours. I feel like 10 hours
I
it'd
would
get
have,
really awkward. There'd be a lot of silence.
you could just beat them up sometime in that
Yeah,
10-hour period.
marry him,
You just go crazy.
divorce him.
You just go crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly. They'd probably make out at one point,
yeah.
and
You,
then,
you you guys would go from haters to lovers by the end of it.
like, as you're punching them, you just, like,
You stop, look into
stop,
each
and
other's
then start
eyes.
making out.
Yeah, like what are we
They're,
doing?
like, completely black
Yeah,
eyes.
but they're into it still. You know.
They are.
Yeah.
They like it.
Who
Yeah.
would your political figure be though? Because it's your least favorite of all time. We'll say dead or alive.
Uh,
That's a tough one. That actually, it's hard to just think of political figures off the top of your head. Who would your music group
do
be
the
then?
easy one and just say like Hitler.
Hitler would be
Probably
fascinating.
not. You probably couldn't debate him very well.
You could make
He
out
was
with him really
supposedly
well.
really, probably. He got the
That
riz.
mustache, man.
Supposedly, yeah, no, actually, the girl gets you. You get
Yeah,
a ton of hair in your mouth.
yeah. What about
I don't know why I'm talking about kissing Hitler.
what does
Um,
this podcast become?
uh, the music group,
Yeah, What would your least favorite music group be if you were to choose
Megan Thee
a rock?
Stallion,
Yes, yes. No, but it said group. It said group.
uh, and Cardi B, pretty much the same person.
Basically, yeah. They
So
probably rap together. It's probably the same copy and paste
I'm sure they have. Yeah,
garbage.
I can't even tell them apart.
Yeah, I would say female rappers and female comedians. Or I don't know. They just I feel like they try to. I don't know. I feel like they should put their own spin on it as opposed to just gender swapping what the men do.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's even worse than
Yes,
what a lot of male
a lot of the time. I don't know.
counterparts do.
It's
I feel like it's trying to fit in with that stereotype instead of actually doing
and
their
and it
own
shouldn't
thing.
be. They should try to do their own thing. I don't. But I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe people out there
But, I
enjoy
mean,
it.
there are good female comedians. I've heard one, but I forgot her name
Yeah,
because
but that's true. I guess it
I'm
depends.
sexist.
For the majority, though,
Yeah,
there's probably
I
good
mean,
female rappers too
it's
out there.
but there's also a lot of really bad
Actually, Lauren
male
Hill.
comedians.
Lauren Hill's a good female rapper.
I
One album
Lauren Hill.
in Lauren Hill. I think. One
I
album,
don't think I've ever heard of it.
and it actually won #1 album of the decade. No, of this year.
Huh?
But it released in the 90s.
Of this.
No,
Oh,
not #1 decade. Apple ranked the top 100. Apple Music ranked the top 100 albums of all time, and it ranked #1.
oh,
Actually,
all right. Just fade into the blue abyss. It's fine. You can't hear me because you took up your headphones. I could say anything right now. Or we could just sit in awkward silence.
I'm a failure. I couldn't find it. I do have that album though,
Yeah.
so sorry for that awkwardness. I'll probably cut that out.
You don't know what I said. Could have said anything in that time.
You could have just said the N word.
I could have
I'll
on
leave it in.
repeat.
I'll leave it in because we've
Over.
already talked about it for like 10 seconds. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, this has
It's
been
history now.
yeah, hour and 24 minutes. Not a bad episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled because we previously mentioned event on the September 20th, September 10th, most likely. Also a possible guest next episode, if not episode after next. So be ready for that. Goodbye and thank you for listening. This has been the Timeout Corner Podcast.